Welcome back to Untold Somalia, where today we're diving deep into a topic that has been making waves across the country: the growing public backlash against President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. In recent days, many voices have emerged criticizing the president for various reasons, ranging from controversial political decisions to statements that have fueled anger among the Somali public. But what exactly is driving this surge of discontent? In this video, we'll break down the key reasons why so many people are turning against President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. So let's take a closer look at the four main points that might explain why people are hating on him today. First point, Hassan Sheikh destroys homes in land scandal. One of the most significant factors fueling the hate against President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud is the ongoing scandal surrounding the sale of government-owned properties in the capital, Mogadishu. Hassan Sheikh has been accused of facilitating the sale of these lands, many of which are situated in prime areas of the city. These properties, originally meant for the benefit of the Somali people, are being sold to wealthy businessmen for real estate development, all in exchange for large sums of money. If these allegations are proven true, it would be a massive blow to his credibility as a leader who is supposed to protect the public's resources. What makes this situation even more controversial is the fact that many of these properties are not just empty plots. Some of them have been home to Somali families since the fall of the central government in 1991. These homes, some of which are damaged from years of conflict, have been used as shelters for the poor. And yet, under Hassan Sheikh's administration, we've seen these homes demolished. One particularly heart-wrenching image circulating on social media shows a young student returning home from school, only to find her house destroyed. This has struck a nerve with many Somalis who feel that the president is turning a blind eye to the plight of the average citizen in favor of enriching a small elite. This is just one of the key reasons why many people are increasingly turning against President Hassan Sheikh. The next point is Hassan Sheikh's controversial statement on building homes. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud's words have also contributed to the growing discontent. In a viral speech, he said, "It is up to me whether I build a cottage or a three-story house. It has nothing to do with the Somali mother who wants her child to get an education."
لكن aniga inaan guri cariish deganaado iyo guri jingada inaan dhisto iyo guri 3 dabaqa 4 dabaqa inaan dhisto ana ii gaartaa wax ka qoseeyo hooyada Soomaaliyeed ee cunugeedii in iskool u dirsata rabtaa ma jirto.
This statement, widely criticized, perfectly encapsulates the disconnect many people feel between the president and the everyday struggles of the Somali people. His dismissive tone, seemingly indifferent to the issues affecting regular Somalis, struck a nerve, especially considering that many previous leaders in Somalia were seen as more empathetic to the people's needs. This comment was particularly hard for many to swallow because it came at a time when the country is grappling with deep economic issues, lack of basic services, and the overall struggle for survival. Previous presidents were often seen as more connected to the people, always talking about how to improve the lives of average Somalis rather than focusing on their own personal real estate choices. For many, this statement solidified the view that Hassan Sheikh is more concerned with his own well-being and the needs of the elite, rather than addressing the concerns of the wider population. This has led to increasing frustration and anger from a public that feels abandoned. The next point is Hassan Sheikh sells out to Ethiopia. Another major reason why many people are turning against President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud is his controversial decision to strike an agreement with Ethiopia regarding a port in Somaliland. For those who don't know, Ethiopia and Somalia have had a long history of tension, and Somalia has always viewed Somaliland as part of its territory. So when Ethiopia signed a deal with Somaliland to build a port, it raised serious concerns. This deal, seen as a major diplomatic shift, led many Somalis to believe that President Hassan Sheikh had essentially sold out their country's sovereignty in favor of his neighbor Ethiopia. The situation became even more alarming when President Hassan Sheikh agreed to end the bitter dispute over the Somaliland port and endorse Ethiopia's actions. Ethiopia, a landlocked country, is seeking access to the sea, and Somalia's traditional position was that Somaliland should not have dealings with Ethiopia as an independent entity. But Hassan Sheikh in his bid for regional cooperation, signed an agreement that many Somalis viewed as a betrayal of their territorial integrity. For many, this was a red line. They saw it as an effort to secure Ethiopia's interests at the cost of Somalia's, and this decision is now being heavily criticized. Many people are questioning whether the president truly has the interests of the Somali people at heart, or if he's too willing to compromise on key issues for the sake of maintaining good relations with neighboring Ethiopia, which, in the eyes of many, is seen as a rival and a threat. This decision has severely damaged Hassan Sheikh's reputation among those who believe in Somali unity and territorial sovereignty. His critics see this move as a sellout, and they argue that it reflects his willingness to put Somalia's national interests second in favor of diplomacy and regional cooperation. This is one of the key reasons why his popularity has sharply declined, with many people now viewing him as weak and compromised. The next point is, Hassan Sheikh faces growing tensions with Jubaland and defeat in Ras Kamboni. Finally, President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud's handling of the tensions with Jubaland and the political fallout from the recent regional elections has also contributed to the growing backlash. Tensions have been building for months between Hassan Sheikh and Ahmed Madobe, the president of Jubaland, particularly after Madobe's election victory in late November. Madobe's re-election, which broke the two-term limit set by Somalia's constitution, infuriated the central government in Mogadishu. Hassan Sheikh, a strong proponent of universal suffrage, had hoped that Jubaland would adopt a more inclusive election process. Instead, Madobe's team continued with Somalia's traditional clan-based voting system, which Mogadishu rejected. In response to Madobe's victory, Hassan Sheikh declared the election invalid and issued an arrest warrant for Madobe. But the situation escalated further when Madobe refused to step down and retaliated by issuing his own arrest warrant for the president. The situation grew even more tense when Hassan Sheikh deployed additional troops to Jubaland, claiming they were meant to take over African Union military bases as part of a broader drawdown plan. Clashes broke out in Ras Kamboni between Jubaland forces and Somali National Army (SNA) troops. While these hostilities were short-lived, the fact that they even occurred raised alarms about the stability of Hassan Sheikh's presidency. Madobe eventually cut ties with Mogadishu, aligning himself with Puntland and other northern regions, creating a deep divide in Somali politics. This defeat in Ras Kamboni, both politically and militarily, has dealt a severe blow to Hassan Sheikh's standing. For many, it's a clear sign that his leadership is weak and that he is struggling to maintain control over the regions. This growing division within Somalia's leadership has created more friction and further fueled the hatred towards him. So, as we've seen, there are multiple factors that have led to the growing animosity towards President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud. From his involvement in the land scandal and the destruction of poor people's homes, to his controversial remarks about his own wealth, the disastrous agreement with Ethiopia over Somaliland and the rising tensions with Jubaland, it's clear that many people feel betrayed by their president. Whether these actions will lead to a permanent shift in public opinion remains to be seen, but one thing is for certain. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud's presidency is facing one of its toughest challenges yet, and the Somali people are not staying silent about it. If you enjoyed this video and want to stay updated on all the untold stories of Somalia, make sure to subscribe to Untold Somalia. Don't forget to like, comment and share your thoughts on this topic.